Well, it's morning for me anyways. Super excited. Let's go. We're going to be playing some Subnautica Below Zero as a continuation of the sort of Subnautica storyline. And yeah, I'm super excited because Subnautica was the first game I ever played on the channel, actually. So let's see, we're just gonna make some adjustments here. Now, I am actually going to stay pretty quiet. The beginning, I haven't seen the end of the game, but I have seen the beginning, and the beginning has a lot of dialogue. So, yeah, if you don't hear as much from me, that's probably why. Perfect. All right, so yeah, let's get started. As you can see, I have a couple of game saves in here, but I haven't. Hello, Seraphis. Good morning. So glad to see you here. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Hey, Grim. And I just mentioned, you guys may have just missed it, but the beginning of the game is kind of dialogue heavy, and there's a lot of setup to the story and everything that you're doing. So I'm going to kind of go quiet for a little bit. I'm just going to let the dialogue kind of speak for itself for the first little while. So I'm just going to I'm even going to turn up the game too. So here we go. We're going to do survival, not hardcore this time. We learned our lesson last time, as fun as that was. I should also mention that I don't know that I necessarily like this game or what I've played of it as much as I like the first one. I really like the first game, like a lot. This one, not so much. So, yeah, so let's go. Gotta love the little penguin on the loading bar down there. It's certainly taking its sweet time, my goodness. There it goes.
This is the farthest I can take you on company space bucks, Robin. You sure you want this? The research is in everything.
It is to me. And Sam. I need to know what happened.
The meteor storm.
I can use it for cover from Altera's eyes.
Gonna miss you, Robin.
I'll find my way back.
Approaching 45-46 speed. Surface temperatures. Drop pod deployed. Welcome to 45-46 speed. Enjoy your stay.
Okay. Yeah, I do like the ship designs in here, so we're gonna see. Hopefully that frame rate drop does not continue. That's gonna be an issue. Actually, I'm gonna check a setting real quick. One thing I did notice, FPS cap. Yeah, I usually like to bring this down a little bit because it helps the back. There we go. That is much better. It helps you guys. It helps you guys, and it looks totally fine. It may not be the most high quality 4K ever, but that's not the kind of computer I have, so there we go. So that was the intro. So we crash landed. I'm gonna look around. I think my favorite part of that whole thing was the welcome to 4546B. Enjoy your stay. And then the ship explodes. To answer your question, John A., the first game is one of those where if you... it's an experience more than a story. The first game in particular, it's not... Oh, I'm getting cold, aren't I? Oh, I have a little meter down there. I'm getting cold. Hi. Hello. Yeah, the first game I don't want to go into too much...
That did not go as planned.
You think?
I should find a way into the water and get to the drop pod.
Okay, good plan, ma'am. Yeah, the first game is one of those where I don't want to go into too much detail because it if you've never played it or experienced it, you should play it and or experience it raw with no spoilers, not knowing anything going into it, because that's part of it. It's something that I think can only be accomplished through gameplay as opposed to a book or movie or something like that, and it's pretty amazing because of that. For right now, what we know is that we're on an alien planet. We were dropped here and we're hiding from Altera, which is a corporation. So a little bit of world building to help you out. So this is 4546B, which is the same planet as the first game, but the environment looks completely different. There was no snow or land like this in the first game. And if you are curious at all, John, and have a ton of, or don't mind putting something on the background, I should say, I have a whole Let's Play of the first game. You could just put that on and many others do. Soviet Womble's got one that's also really good. So yeah, find a Let's Play of it, put it on in the background, and you can likewise experience the game. But yeah, this is very different from what we saw in the first game. I love the thermal lilies. They're both like comforting and terrifying. Her gloves remind me of like those gloves that you buy that allow you to touch screen devices. Okay, so we're supposed to get to the water. Get to the water. We've got some food. Actually, do we have food? We are hungry. Nom. Water. Woo! Bloosh. Now this looks more familiar. Sort of. This actually still looks very different from the first game, obviously. Alright. Crap, this is the part where I need to, like... It gets quiet for a bit. Fragment, okay. I gotta reorient myself. It's been a hot minute. Hey, Boomerang. Wow, it's super quiet. At least it sounds quiet to me. It sounds like it's... Levels look good for you guys. There we go. Hello, Bladderfish. I know you. I recognize you. This is after. In fact, this is way after. Well after, I believe.
Now the drop pod.
Yes. Okay, now that we've... Yep, see, stuff and things. So, tab...
I want to offer my sincerest condolences on the passing of your sister. I got to know Sam better towards the end of my mandate with Altera on 4546B. When we were thrown together as basemates at Outpost Zero. She spoke often and fondly of you. I thought you should know, it didn't sit right with me when Altera blamed Sam's death on negligence. The Samantha Ayu I met was many things. Kind, clever, devoted to her work, but never negligent. I wish I could offer you something more substantial, but my access to information has been cut off. You may be in a better position to look into things than I am. If you're able to, Delta Station was our HQ. They were in a big hurry to leave, and there might still be information to be found there. It has a big radio tower, impossible to miss. I hope you find the answers you seek. Lillian Bench.
Okay, so that's kind of the setup that we're given so far. So as you can tell, there's several audio logs here, but one thing that is nice is we can play the audio logs while we swim around and do things. So There's also kind of a new feature in this one where there's audio logs of Robin talking to herself. So there'll be she'll make some comment in the game while you're swimming around, and then you'll open up your log, and then she'll have a whole thing that she says. Kind of helps you. Because in the first game, you don't have that. So in the first game, when you read something in your data log, you're just left to your own devices to interpret that how you will, which I personally love. In this one, they have her making the commentary every so often, some voiced protagonist.
Well, Sam, I guess I might as well gather some tools and resources before starting my search.
Case in point.
Hope that radio tower's as easy to spot as Lil said.
So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and get started, because this is a survival game. One thing that makes the Subnautica games really unique is that they're survival games, but they're also story-based games in a unique blend I haven't seen other games do, which is I think why I like them so much. And while I get started, I'm going to play some audio logs so you guys can get caught up here. So, this is just the notice of death. So this basically says, that her sister, the death of Samantha Ayu, she died on planet 4546b, regrettably as a result of injuries sustained in an accident arising from her own negligence. So from what Lillian said in this other log, that's kind of, not everyone believes that, so.
Rob,
Oop.
guess what? I got the job. I'm going to 4546b. Now I'll be able to improve the mechanical avian amphibian under real-world stress conditions. Listen, I know your stance on Alterra, but I just hope you're happy your sis is happy. I sure hope my sis is happy. I can't wait till we talk again. Oh, I wanted to ask you something. Can you watch my Augie while I'm away? I need someone I can trust to look after my best little potato. Potato, listen. I tried, but that name is just not sticking. He's my little extrabyte. I'll leave the starchy tuber as nicknames to you. Anyway, if you say yes, thanks, baby sis. Love you.
Okay, so we're the younger sister.
4546B to Robin.
Oh.
Come in, Robin.
There's a picture.
Remember when we used to play old-timey Space Explorer? This is kind of like that, but it's even harder to communicate. Well, let's see. I got your last message. Alterra is not, as you put it, alterrorizing me. Things are going well. My project has a new name. Say goodbye to the mechanical avian amphibian, and hello to spy penguins. We're training the bots to mimic the creatures. Check out the photo. And I think I'm kinda seeing someone. I know it's not like me to just find a date, let alone on a mostly uninhabited water planet, but actually, you know what? Forget I said anything. Yeah, it's probably not even a real thing, but anyway, I'm sorry to hear Xenoworks might be strapped in the revenue department. Sounds like they still have you busy Xeno working, no? I know there's no way to guarantee an alien intelligence startup will succeed, but you've put so much into it. I hope they find a way to keep going. I know how much it means to you, getting to work at a small place where you have control over your research. All right, I gotta go. Later, baby sis. Love you.
Ribbon plants contain electrolytic materials that can be used in energy storage.
All right, so that's our PDA talking to us. So if anyone went through the first game with me, you'll remember we had a PDA that had a little bit of a dry sense of humor, and it would say things like, you've exceeded your exercise quota. It looks like your favorite activity was swimming. It's good for your glutes. Like, it would have stuff like that. And yeah, John A. Dude, you use what you want. Use the name that works best for you. There's a saying that there's no original ideas anymore, and heck, 99% of my stuff is like references to other stuff, and my players love it. So just use what feels right and what works. You know, if that's the name that just is the perfect name for your situation, then just do that. I am going to put this back on the pop. Okay. And then let's see. So that thing that popped up right as I walked in the door was an example of one of the things I was talking about, personal log. So she makes these little things in her
I
log.
was a little nervous about dropping into an unknown area, but luckily, this biome seems to have an abundance of minerals I can use for tools and upgrades. I didn't want another situation like Bazantos 5. When Xenoworks dropped me off, there were barely any resources. I survived off the land for 3 months with just a knife, my lucky PDA, and some rope. I am still kind of proud of that, though.
So, all right. So we got 3 more messages left from Sam. Here we go.
Hey, Robin. I got your Augie photo. Thanks so much for taking care of him, even though he's a cranky potato. Hey, the nickname actually fits that way. A cranky potato. I know he can be a handful, but I really appreciate it. I'm a bit worried about my other baby, the mission. One of my penguins found something big. But Altera is just like, nothing to see here. Honestly, kinda glad you can't answer so you can't, rub it in my face. Go ahead, bask in the fact that you were a little bit right about them. My project is on the line. My job, my safety. I heard about Xenoworks getting bought. I'm sorry. But at least you still have your job. Guess you're one of us now. Like it or not, welcome to the Altera family. I should probably go before I say something I regret. Love you. Keep your chin up. Eye on the alien prize.
Okay, so let's use our fabricator. Actually, we can make some water from that bladderfish that we found. Let's see, what do we got? We don't have a whole lot for personal tools. I'm still missing stuff. Oh, that's right. I need to get from the creep finds. Okay. All right. Well, we need to find creep finds. That'll be easy in the dark, so we'll go to the next log.
Hey, Robin. I'm sorry my last message was so awful. I've been under a lot of stress. I'm not sure what's going on with anything. I can't really talk about it either. Oh, and I'm definitely not dating anyone on this water planet. Don't know what I was thinking there. Have I told you how cold it is here? Get this, I can't even get my wash and go dry before the wind freezes the moisturizer in my hair. Wild, right? Well, anyway, I'm sure you're mad at me after what I said, but I could really use a friend. You're my sister. I love you. I'm sorry.
So it sounds like, what is this?
New creature discovered.
New creature discovered. It sounds like, it started off really optimistic and then it sounded like things are going downhill. She mentioned her spy penguins found something quote unquote big. Alright, so let's get a knife. Oh, we still don't have, oh, no. I gotta, there we go. Zip. We probably should make some glass too. Zip. All right, now we've unlocked some stuff. So now we've unlocked a knife. All right. What we got? Oh, I do like the name for the continent. Yep. The homebrew world is named Altia. The Japanese original name for Eris from Voltron. And the continents are named based on the continents from Planet Z, or Planet Xi from Zoids. See? I found, I started it, if you've ever seen Acquisitions Incorporated, that's a good, like, here you go, here's the example, but I had this thing where I had a campaign, oh my gosh, is it story time already, guys? We've barely started it. I shouldn't get so distracted. Quick version then. I had a campaign that was all uber like, oh, this is serious. This is going to be a long, epic campaign, etc., etc. And then I came across that Matt Colville video and I was like, I am having issues. Maybe I should try this as a technique and see if it helps the issues. Went to a more Act Inc. style episodic format. Each session's an individual episode. Things are lighthearted. References are aplenty. I don't even try anymore. I just make spoof D&D sessions, and everybody loves it. So, yeah. There we go. That was the. Why do I keep hitting escape all the time? Come on, get your stuff together. Controls. All right, last message from Sam.
Hey, Robin. I really need someone to know. I'm afraid something terrible is gonna happen. You were completely right about Altera, okay? You were right. I was wrong. The cat should be called Potato. I admit it. Sorry. Bad attempt at a joke. I don't know what to do. I guess I should just come out and say it at this point. I've said this much already. We found a frozen Leviathan that's infected with Kara. Altera thinks they can use it for something. Weapons, experimental treatments, a whole range of things. But one end of the range is ugly, dangerous, but profitable, of course. What if it gets out while we're messing around with it? Or worse, what if it ends up a bioweapon in the wrong hands? I hope I'm overreacting, but I don't think I am. Anyway, message me back, please. I could really use a friend. You're my sister. I love you.
Okay, so that was the last message that she sent us, and then
Oxygen.
the next thing that we have is a notice of her death. So clearly something bad happened. Okay. So to do a little bit of their Kara, as they pronounce it, although I've always pronounced it Kara, I think. Yeah, where is it down here? Frozen infected with, Kharaa. I always pronounced it Kara, but Kara is Kara is the virus or bacteria, more accurately, from the first game. And see, and now I'm already going to be spoiling the first game, aren't I? Essentially, how to, like, without spoiling too much. It is very dangerous, and it is something to be worried about. I'll put it that way. So we need a scanner. We need a battery. Let's go to a battery. Batteries are ribbon plants and copper. Oh, we can make another battery. Oh, well, twist my arm. Oh, we can have a flashlight and a scanner. Well, let's get a scanner first. That seems very handy.
All right, I have a scanner.
There, see? And now I have a log.
In goes the battery and titanium. Out comes the scanner. Every xenobiologist's favorite tool. This planet has some fascinating flora and fauna, and I can't wait to learn about them. This will also give me access to a greater tool set. I'm assuming Altera left behind tech that I can scan for blueprints. That should make surviving and exploring out here a bit easier. Don't worry, Sam. I haven't forgotten I'm here for you. But it can't hurt to do a little research on the side, right? I know you would have done the same. I will find out what happened to you. I promise.
Yeah, so it sounds like our Robin, our person we're playing as, definitely does not believe for a moment what she was told, that Sam died due to injuries resulting from negligence. There we go. Okay, so scanner. There we go. Now we get to scan things. Scanning things is good. Let's scan some things. So in the first game, so there's a lot of, one thing that's neat about Subnautica is a lot of the flora and fauna have these, you scan them and you have little insights into how they work and how they function and fit in with the ecosystem, and it's really cool. In the first game, scanning things is a big key to actually kind of following along with the story. Like if you wanted to, you don't have to scan everything in the first game. And you can still play and you can still kind of understand the story because there's enough of the story outside of scanning. But you do pick up a lot of fun little clues and concepts from scanning. So it just really enhances the immersion in the world and all of that. And the way that it's done, because when you're talking about mixing together a narrative game and a survival game, those are very, I think, distinct concepts from each other. Like a narrative game is usually more linear and more, you know, the story is kind of the key, and survival games are completely open. They have no the whole idea is that the player gets to do what they want to do. That's what I'm looking for. Fiber mesh. Okay. So yeah, it's an interesting combo, and I think Subnautica does it really, really, really well. Hey guys, you're like a new looking creature. You're a new looking creature. Hi. Oh, hey, 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 whoa. Hey, get, hey.
Some of the wildlife down here is very grabby.
Come back here. Come on. That's my knife. That's my knife. That's my knife. That's my knife. Thank you. Jerk. You are cute, though.
Oxygen.
I'm not gonna lie. He's really cute. Look at that purple. I kind of want to put like a monster like him in my world. All right. So you're not fond of the silly spoof-style games, but there have been some good ones.
New blueprint synthesized.
And I think each group is different too. Some groups are in it for the narrative. Some groups are in it for wanting to, you know, they want that deep, epic experience, you know, the Lord of the Rings journey, if you will. And some groups like mine are there to like, you know, their style and what they want out of the game is just a lot more loosey-goosey meme culture type thing. That's just kind of the way my group is a bit. There's a lot of memeing. That's okay. I learned to kind of lean into that more, and then people have a better time. All right, here we go. Now, do we have 5 from I almost hit the wrong button and made silicone, and that would have been not good. Where is it? There it is. Standard O2 tank. Give me a standard
Adding
O2 tank.
additional blueprints to your databank.
Oh. If I get 2 silicone
The
rubber
standard
tanks, then...
oxygen tank can be upgraded for deluxe and VIP breathing.
Oh, VIP breathing, as opposed to regular breathing. Hello, the boogeyman boogs. You know, when I see the boogeyman boogs, I just think of, I'm the Oogie Boogie Man. Put me in a spin. You aren't comprehending the position that you're in. It's hopeless. You haven't got a prayer. 'Cause I'm Mr. Oogie Boogie. And you ain't going nowhere. It's the Oogie Boogie song from Nightmare Before Christmas, in case you didn't know. I'm the Oogie Boogie Man. Just scanning, collecting some resources. We're building ourselves up. We're working our way through things. Oh, it is so nice having a little bit more room to breathe. Oh my goodness. Hey, I was... Ow. Balder. Bother. Give me back. I should have known better. I shouldn't have gotten close to him. Oop, what am I trapped on? Oh. When I first played this, and like I said, I have not ever finished this game. I've just done like the beginning bit, and like a little bit of ways into the game. But, the ice genuinely terrified me. Like there's a section where I wanted to like check something out, but in order to get to it, I had to like swim under like ice chunks. Like those ice chunks only was a big chunk, and it just was like absolutely terrifying because I was like, oh my gosh, if I go under the ice, I'm not gonna be able to breathe. Well, hey, everyone from the DC-20 community will love this, except it's not purple. That's the only problem, is they're not purple. Young penguins tend to huddle on dry land, awaiting their next meal, consume almost exclusively fish.
Dangerous weather approaching. Seek shelter.
Sure. They tend to huddle to stay warm. If separated, the adults will become agitated and begin searching for their young penguins. Please do not do this. The game straight up tells you, please don't mess with the little penguins. They are cute though. There goes one swimming. There he goes. Penguin! Alright. Oh, I heard that. Oh, I heard that sound. Also, rock. I heard that sound though. Okay. So let's do scanning, bladderfish. Trying to scan as much as I can. Trying to pick up materials as much as I can. There should be copper in these. Yeah, chance of copper in these limestones. And then she said we're looking for Delta Station. So essentially we're trying to build up our resources and then we're trying to find Delta Station. Because we want to find out what happened to Sam. So to answer your question from earlier, Seraphis, when we played the first game, nobody knew what Kara was. You know, your character had to figure that out. Oh, I didn't scan that. Whereas in this game, Sam and Robin are actually referring to it. So the assumption is that your character, after surviving at the end and returning home... Wow, that's a lot of limestone right next to each other. Holy crap. Goes back to civilization and kind of updates everyone. I mean, Sam was here on a research project. And in the first game, this was like a desolate planet that nobody knew about and nobody could approach. But due to events in the first game, now people are able to regularly come here. So it sounds like Sam was on some sort of science team at the forefront of this. And, let's see, I need copper wire and a wiring kit. Exploring the planet and then something happened to her. But the characters in universe know about Kara now. Oop. And we need to possibly worry about getting food at some point. Whoop, wrong button. Let's do that. Let's get some silicone. Monstrous Kraken vibes. They are cool, aren't they? In fact, they're kind of the sort of next biome that we need to delve into. Because that's like the sort of, kelp forest biome. Stay away from me, sea monkeys. And we've got fins. Yeah, fins and a air tank. You only need a sea glide. That's what we need. Oh, hey, look, that's a PDA. I saw the glow of a PDA. Wow, ooh. Okay, it's not an audio log. Uh-oh. I know that sound. Ugh. Ouch. Mobile vehicle bay, that's going to be important. That's going to allow us to build things like sea moths and sea trucks. That's going to be huge for increasing our range for being able to go deeper. What was that? Galactic news. Contact has been lost with Aurora. Oh, Aurora. That's the name of the ship from the first game. Contact has been lost with the Aurora some 18 months into its journey to install a phase gate into the Ariadne arm. Report inside sources. Altera launched the Aurora to much fanfare almost 2 years ago and recently announced the ship had arrived in the destination solar system. The Aurora has reportedly now missed more than one routine check-in. Asked for comment, a spokesperson for Altera said communication with ships outside of the phase gate network can take weeks or months in ordinary circumstances and is commonly interrupted. The Aurora was in good shape and ahead of schedule the last time they checked in. We have no reason to think anything has changed. Nonetheless, our sources emphasized that Altera cannot yet explain the loss of contact, and given the exceptional value of this ship and its mission, they are taking every possible measure to re-establish contact. Shareholders will be watching closely. Keen readers will remember, however, that Altera's network of directors have a history of leaking scare stories like this to the press, only for the Transgov to rebound with positive news again, news against the odds. Directors' shareholdings and dealings are, of course, not public information. So that, of course, is referring to the first game. Aurora is the name of the ship in the first game, and in the first game, you crash land. So that's an interesting take on, you know, what the experience for everyone else was like. Oxygen plant. Oxygen. Here we go. I have an oxygen plant there. Just the one. Just the one oxygen plant. Oh, sea glide fragment. Yes. Sea glide. I can speak.
Warning. 30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
Now it's 54. Haha, thank you, oxygen plant. Alright, let's see. Let's just like keep going. We're good on water and food for the moment, although we don't have a lot of spares with us. If we find salt, we could make... Oh, I can scan the peeper. I haven't scanned one yet. There we go. So how does that look? You were talking about tentacle vibes. How does that look? Not gonna lie, that looks pretty cool. What's the button again? Hold on. There's a... Oh, F1 to take a screen. Why do I keep hitting escape all the time? I am so unskilled. There we go. And now we get to have pictures. We get to look at our pictures. Although it sucks that our feet and hands are in the way of the picture, but whatever. Not escape, Tori. Not escape. That's a strange light over there. That's a bright light over there. I think we should head towards the bright light. Oh, there's more bright light. Electric light. Alright, let's head towards the first light we saw. Let's head towards the light. Definitely leftovers. Here we go. Let's see. Beacon fragment. There we go. New blueprint synthesized. Beacon. Some healing. Light stick fragment. Coral shelf. Lots of stuff to scan. Obviously, you don't see me reading quite all of it. Lots of stuff to scan. Water. Okay, so we just found a kind of like sort of miniature little like stash here. Oh, and there. Oh, it goes deeper.
30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
Alright, I'm going. Oh, hence the electric light we saw, I suppose. Alright, oxygen. Let's see, lights, ladder. What do we got here? What do we got, Altera? What's this? What's this? What's this? There's color everywhere. What's this? There's wet things in the air. Mineral detector. Cool.
New blueprint synthesized.
Yes, yes, little penguin. Little penguin. Alright. Here we go. So that seems to be everything I can grab from here. Excellent. Phew. So what was there more? Oh, there's an oxygen plant right there I could have used. Is there more, like, further down? Let's grab this resource while we're here. Oh yeah, it's like, it goes down. Mostly down. Just stay next to the oxygen plant for a moment. Oh yeah, no, it goes down. Never mind. It goes like way down. That's a lot of bright light right there. Oh, it's coming from the underside of the coral. Oh. Critter. Hey, critter. Can I scan you, critter? Arctic ray. That's a critter. Oop. Please don't hurt me.
Warning. 30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
Assume that the rays are harmless because they were in the first game, but like I kind of actually thought he might hurt me there for a second. See, news, memos, and miscellany. This is basically her company, Xenoworks, got bought out. Those are the SAM. Alright, that's the note about the monkeys. Geological data. Nope. Carnivores, pangolin, herbivores, Arctic ray. Fast-moving ray species, well adapted to low-temperature environments. 2 sets of wing-like fins enable this ray to quickly change direction and accelerate. The other rays, or like other rays, it is exclusively herbivorous. So it is harmless. Okay, good. Assessment, harmless. Oh, that guy. Yeah, no, he's clearly shark.
That sounds like a distress call.
Transmission of unknown origin. Source of transmission depth calculated at approximately 200 meters.
That's deep. Is there anything that we can do to increase our depth? Because 200 meters is pretty deep. Hello, Tabletop Tussle. How are you? Glad to see you here. Hanging out in the underwater vibes with us. Yeah, like I'd like to go check out... oh, lights. Lights. Is that 2 PDAs? That's 2 PDAs right next to each other.
Warning. Passing 100 meters. Oxygen efficiency decreased.
Whoop, 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 whoop. Okay, sea truck log number 3 and something else. It's a manta ray and a shark. It's a yellow painted manta ray and a shark. We need to get
Warning.
up.
30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
Yes. Up. Sorry, everyone. I did not mean to the shark scared me. That was a legit jump scare. I was really nervous about the lack of oxygen, and then to just look down and see like teeth. Sorry for breaking your eardrums. All right, what do we have? Where's our that's beacon manager. Where's our blueprint? We need, okay, so we need a wiring kit because, well, I know what a wiring kit is. We want, this guy, we don't have everything unlocked. A sea truck, motion vehicle. Okay, so we don't have enough fragments to get a sea glide yet. We do want this guy though, which means we need silver. I don't know what, stop it. I don't know what silver. So in the first Subnautica, there were these rocks, and they had, like limestone was titanium, copper, I think that was it. And then sandstone was gold or lead or silver, and then shale was diamond, lithium, or titanium, I think. So there were only like 3 different stone types that could get you the different minerals you needed among other sources for them. But in this game, they've separated out all of the minerals. So there are different outcrops. So like limestone is just copper and titanium. And then I think galena is silver and titanium. And then there's I think shale is lead and titanium. So they split out all of the subsequent resources.
Picked up what sounds like a distress call. Who or what is out here calling for help? Didn't sound human. Maybe it's from a remnant of architect technology. In her message, Sam's colleague did say there was something important here. Even if it's just a mimic from one of the more intelligent aquatic specimens, that could be a major find. Or if it's from Altera, it could have bearing on what happened to Sam.
That is true.
Should definitely check it out.
Is that a thing for wildlife to mimic something like that? I mean, most humans don't even know the actual SOS pattern. I mean, a lot of people do, but a lot of people don't either. So it's kind of like, would wildlife be able to, I mean, I guess maybe, because there are things that animals do that's like, wow, super amazing. Sea glide fragment, sea glide fragment, sea glide fragment, sea glide fragment. Because if something in the wild replicated the SOS pattern, they probably would just be replicating a sound they hear. I don't know that they would necessarily understand its meaning. Tabletop, this is a survival game with a story, and you discover the story as you go. So since we just started, we have there's a corporation, and this is an alien planet, and there's a corporation, and we got a notice of death from our sister. So we went to this planet to investigate the death of our sister because we don't believe the story we were told that the corporation fed us. It's the Bluegins. They're actually super intelligent and they want to mess with you. Yep, three dots and 3 long dots and 3 short dots. SOS. There's actually in Layers of Fear 2, you start on a ship. We didn't do Layers of Fear 2, but on Layers of Fear 2, you start on a ship and you come across in the beginning of the game before things get wacko. You're on an ocean liner and there's like a telecom room and you can interact with the little, I forget the name, but what makes the Morse code sounds in the first place, the little tapper, you can actually click on it. And I didn't know it, but when I was playing it for the first time, I was like, oh, and I immediately did the SOS sign because I knew it, and I got an achievement for it. So they actually put an achievement in the game for players to just tap the little interactable SOS clicker. Anyways, that's probably not the technical name for that. We don't have water. We need water. We do have mind. This guy, lubricant. Okay, so we need lubricant. All right, time to focus up, Tori. Let's go. You'll notice that I can pin the recipes now, which is not something that I could do before in the first game. They went back and did an update to the first game that actually gives you the ability to pin recipes like you do here. But when I was doing my Let's Play of the first game, I was trying not to do that because I mean, on the one hand, it's a really good quality of life.
Supply cache nearby.
Oh. Oh, really? Is that... Beacon. Beacon. Let's see if we can find any water on the way. We need water. We need to build a sea glide. Hey, Grumpy. Oh, geez. That is super late, but hopefully for good. I mean, usually when a game runs late, it's because everyone's having a good time, so I'll take that as a good sign. Hey, pink wings. Oh, this is the part I was mentioning earlier, where you have to swim under the ice. It's very nerve-wracking. But it's actually not that bad. You just pop back out on the other side. Dang, it got, like, quiet. It got, like... There we go. Oh, we got a sea truck audio log. We need to listen to that. We gotta catch up on our sea truck log. I gotta get air. Oh, hello, Cantrip. Welcome. Hello, Knucklebone. Welcome. So then I must cut. Okay, we'll love this. It was fun. Hey, that's my, dang it, that's my skin. Get back here, get. Ah. Yeah, I'm with the protagonist on that one. If so, then it was fun. Someone mentioned Axe. Is that like Adventure Conqueror King? Oh, that's Grumpy. That was Grumpy's game. All right. All right, let's see. Is that... Oh, yeah, that's a frag. It'll give me titanium. Okay, so did we get a sea truck log? There it is. I was like reading the chat, not paying attention. Okay.
I'm telling you, Sammy, you see some weird things when you spend half your day in a sea truck.
More vandalism? Was it the sea monkeys again?
I don't think so. I can't shake the feeling this planet is cursed.
There's no such thing as a curse.
Yeah, you're probably right. That's nothing. You wouldn't want to hear about it anyway. Just a huge creature frozen in ice.
What? Where?
In a cave, not far from your lab. And here's the extra weird part. As soon as I called it in, they closed off the area. Don't want anyone going in there.
But why?
Sammy, I'm no biologist, but I think there was something wrong with it. Its skin just seemed off. Alien.
An alien on planet 4546b. No.
I'm serious, Sam. Something ain't right. Wish I could show you, but I can't get back in there.
You can't. But I might know how to.
Whatever you're thinking, we never had this conversation.
Even when sleepy, my powers of distraction are operating. It's an aura that you've now gathered around yourself, Grumpy. You and Seraphis both. You just, it just emanates. Like, as soon as you enter the chat, it's just like, whom, whum, whum, whum. I actually really want to do another Stitch stream as a personal challenge to myself to see if I can actually maintain stitching the whole time. That was really educational, though, so to all the people who stuck around with me through the testing and dropping and nonsense, thank you. I don't deserve you guys. Actually, it's because of you guys that I'm already working on my next video. I was going to take a longer break than that, but then like I read a comment on one of the other videos and I was like, oh, that's a good idea. I'm going to make a video. So here we go. So script's already done. Certain like, what's it called? The, not the animatics, the, storyboards, basically the step-by-step of like what the animation is gonna be like. It's like I'm already working on my next video, gosh darn it. ADD resistance goals. Yeah, that's that. I don't think I'm gonna work on the whole face can concept a little bit more. I don't think it's quite ready like I was hoping it would. You know, we should have nicked that beacon. Also, we badly need water, so I'm gonna come out here and eat these mushrooms and see if that works. Because I can't remember, but I think... Can I eat these? Yeah, and they give me some water. Well, at least I won't die, but I need salt and or these big purple floaty fish. Okay, I need water. Big purple floaty fish, bladderfish, excuse me. Water. Come here. My aim is, you could, by the way, me trying to catch that fish, insert that clip as the reason why I don't actually really play FPSs. It is not DC 20 specifically, no. Part of it is because I don't feel like I have anything to, everything's kind of already been covered. The only new things to cover are the lore drop and the weapons system change, which I don't feel comfortable covering in a video because I haven't even myself like absorbed all the information. Even though I watched the video, it's not like I could just tell you off the top of my head like, oh, this is the weapon system. Like I don't have that level of understanding of it yet. And you know, you just go watch Coach's videos. I'd love to make more DC 20 content because that's what people want. I just don't know what to say about it. I don't know what to make. I've already kind of said why I like it. And the overwhelming majority of all the comments have been positive, but there are a handful of more cranky ones. I didn't put anything in here. Let's throw some titanium in here. It's fun. In the moment, we're spending a lot of time going through the massive book. Like I said, we are still learning it. Cognancy. I'm starting to doubt. So we need ribbon plants, which should be relatively close by, honestly. Let's go this way. I think we keep going forward out the door. Let's go backwards out the door and see if we can find some ribbon plants, because if we can find some ribbon plants, We got some, like, objectives in front of us. We need to start hunting towards our objectives. Oh, there's an area where ribbon plants grow, but there's no ribbon plants in it. Okay, let's just keep exploring. We're bound to find something. Yeah, here we go. All right, ribbon plants for batteries. Once we have a battery, we can make a My gosh, Tori, and all I've had is coffee this morning. We have had too much coffee. Essentially, yeah. I mean, it'll make more sense once the video comes out. Like, once you guys see it, the whole thing will make a lot more sense, maybe. But, see, food, we're good on food, we're good on water, although we're probably gonna run out of water at some point. Battery. Okay, and then now we can do that. Let's make some copper wire. We still need silver.
The Sea Glide is a personal transportation device used for high-speed freediving. Contains a built-in light and map.
Yeah, cantrip, I'm kind of with you. Like, the weapons updates sounded really cool, and I'm certainly excited to see, you know, updates happening to the game, but at the same time, it's kind of like I know for a fact I don't have the bandwidth to, like, cover every little single thing that drops. And as we leave the Kickstarter and go into the beta, there are going to be more drops. Like, that's kind of inevitable. So it's one of those where it's like, I mean, it's not like I'm never going to make any DC-20 content ever again. That's not, no, I'll certainly still make stuff. And I honestly, the whole thing prompted me to do everything from, like, changing my editing software to changing my setup to changing, there was a lot of changing going on. So the output of animated videos specifically, or stick figure videos specifically, will definitely go. Like, there are going to be now lots more animated or stick figure videos than there was before, by a lot. It's just, they might not necessarily be specifically DC-20. They might be more like TTRPG type stuff. What in the world? That looks ominous. What in the world? I was scared. Oh, well, I want to see what I'm doing. I'm, like, genuinely scared to approach this thing. Oh, it's an, oh my, okay. Wow. Okay, Tori. You need to calm down. Well, that's possible then. Be savvy or experienced enough, and then yield geeks' disapproval. Beacon.
Use beacons to mark traversed territory. Show or hide the signals of your choice with your Xenoworld PDA.
Okay.
Now with surface support.
Now with surface support. Yes. Yeah, the change in software and the change in workflow that I had to go through, which was extremely stressful to happen in the middle of a project, in the middle of a tight time frame, like, worst possible time. But at the same time, in the long run, it'll be better. It'll be much better. And it did, and once I, like, got everything kind of figured, it makes the workflow faster. Like, there was a slowdown in workflow while I was adjusting, changing, shifting, learning. And then now that the learning phase, the initial learning phase is over, now the speed will come with it. So it was, like, worth the excess upfront time investment to save the time in the long run, basically. Want to play. Oh, oh my god, I'm so dumb. Whoa. I have a sea glide. I don't need to be sitting here like slow motion swimming through everything. I have a sea glide. So much faster. I think one thing I'm really excited about, and I don't know if I mentioned this in my other videos, but I love the care that DC-20 took to make weapons significant. I had not noticed this until someone pointed it out, and then once they did, I was forever like, dang it. But there is definitely a phenomena that happens outside of magical gear, which magical gear is one of those, like, some people say, oh, you need to give your players more. And then some people are like, no, don't dare be very careful with magical. Like, there's a big stigma around magical items. But regular weapons, like, my players are level 5, and I don't do milestone. I was still doing XP. So it took them quite a while to get there. And they have literally for 5 straight levels, one of them got like a new bow, and that's it. They are literally just still in the same equipment with not a care. Equipment in this instance might as well not even exist. And so the fact that DC-20 took care to like add a little something to equipment to make it so like it's a part of the game again, I really enjoyed that. So having the weapon systems get upgraded is super, super cool. So I'm gonna drop these off. I'm gonna drop that off. I have way too many fish, but that's okay. At least I won't starve. So we're trying to build a compass, and we need to go investigate that SOS signal. Namely, we need to investigate the SOS signal, but I'm not 100% sure. We were near the, that cage that was in the water, the electricity in the truck. Oh, sea truck log. Thanks for reminding me, guys. Sea truck log.
Damn ugly thing followed me into the shallows. Didn't think something that big would follow me up here. Had to jettison the sea truck. Again. I guess I could try to go back for the parts when it leaves. If it leaves. I really don't want to sit in another meeting with Emmanuel. Manu, as he likes to be called. I just want to drive around and deliver cargo in peace.
Is this the same? This is not the same cache. This is not the same little area.
Ah, jeez. These sea monkeys are gonna get me in trouble. This is the 3rd shipment that those buggers have gotten their weird little hands into. Now we're running low on flares, and I'm gonna have to search nearby nests for stolen cargo. They're lucky they're kinda cute. Raccoons of the sea, those ones.
Okay. So we picked up some things. Food. There's it's a thing called the Pathfinder tool. I don't know if I'm gonna use it, but I don't want you stealing my stuff. But it drops these little arrows in the water, so it's called a Pathfinder tool.
30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
Yeah. Hello, Galaxy. Hello. About CD20. That's true, Cantrip. You're right. The fact that it's modular, it's almost like it was designed to be homebrewed. I've seen some of the comments on my videos, people complaining about the system. Not very many mine, but a handful. And it's like, why, I don't like this and I don't like that. And I'm like, well, that's the best part, is like, you can literally just not use that part. And the same is true of 5e. Obviously, we've been homebrewing the crap out of 5e for years, or most people have. In fact, I did it without even knowing that I did it. You know what I mean? So, hey, Demon Platypus, how are you? Ooh, new biome? Yeah, new biome. Well, I don't want a new biome. I want the, SOS signal. But, so it's like, it's not like it's unique to DC-20 to be able to be homebrewed. But at the same time, DC-20 seems like, or just feels, would be a more accurate word, feels like it like Lego pieces. Like, here, have all of these pieces of Legos and then just assemble it how you want it. That's how it feels. Whereas 5e feels like a fully pre-built...
30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
5e feels like a pre-built Lego, you know, like one of those Lego sets already put together. And... oh, there it is. There's the cage. Okay, so down here is going to be the SOS signal. Okay, cool. So... it is about 250 meters away. Oh, shoot. How much silver do we have? Crap, I need to go back and get more silver out of that biome. I found silver there, so I think more silver is going to be there. And we need silver so that we can get a compass. We need to keep ourselves oriented. Okay, here we go. Smoky thingamajiggers. Yes, service. New biome? Who dis? Yeah, if we can get one more piece of silver, we can get a wiring kit, which means we can have, I think, yeah, chance of silver. So it's... well, that's lithium. Fine, I'll take lithium, though. Lithium's handy. Is that silver? I want silver. Yes! Silver. Here we go. And then we're going to go investigate the SOS signal that we heard. Hello, Galaxy Fox. Hello. Yeah, yes. It clearly created by someone who loves homebrew, 100%. It's quite modular. It's... yeah, no, it genuinely feels like someone who just... like, it was made... like, as a system, it just feels like it was basically made for me. That's a weird way of putting it, but that's kind of how I feel. It feels like someone just reached into my brain and then like made the system that I secretly wanted that I didn't know I wanted. Shunk. All right, so now we've got our silver. Now we can make our wiring kit and our compass, and that'll help us a lot, especially with the navigation portion. So there we go. Now we actually have a compass. Now we can go. How are we on food and water? Probably pretty solid, I would wager. We don't have a lot of copper, so running out of power on our sleek glide might be a thing. But yeah, we got healing, we got food and water. Let's go investigate that signal. Right, guys? You're with me? It was about 200 meters. Shoot, which direction was it? South? I'm gonna say south. I think maybe it was south. Because how did we approach the drop pod, guys? I've heard that from so many people. And interrupted by real life now. Hey, if you gotta go deal with stuff, you gotta go deal with stuff. There are things that take priority over me and my silly cringy streams. The last stream was so cringy. I almost made it privated. I felt so, like I went back and watched it, especially the test, obviously the testing part. And I was watching it and I was like, this is awful. Why is this, Tori, why didn't you just stick with your stitching? Bad Tori. So I was gonna make it private, but by the time I caught it, it already had somehow like 100 views, and I was like, what the, how? But I couldn't make it, I couldn't like take it down or make it private at that point, because then it would just be weird. Like those people who make a bad tweet or something and then they try to delete it, and then the fact that they deleted it generates more attention than the tweet itself did, type deal. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna mass produce more content to bury it. Trying to make SEO cross-platform compatible. You know, I fully admit I don't really do MMOs. I have dropped out of every MMO I've ever tried except one. And so, and also these human things are being people. Hey, you do what you got to do, Cantrip. If you want to lurk, feel free to lurk, hang out. We love having you here. If you got to go, we totally understand. I'm getting distracted, guys. That's okay. I can't hate chat too much. You guys, or comments gave me the idea for my next video, and I actually think it's going to be a pretty good one. So, okay, so here's what we need to do. We need to find the SOS signal. Okay, so here's what we're actually going to do. I'm going to go get some water real quick because I feel like I didn't have my water with me because I'm so unprofessional and unprepared. So I'm going to be right back, guys. Please bear with a very quick intermission. All right. Thank you so much for your patience on that, guys. I thought it was a good stream, barring the brief bit where I couldn't find your second one, but that was more a me problem. Well, I appreciate that. All good. Gonna have to go lurker mode for a while. I just appreciate having you around in spirit, Galaxy Fox. Head off now. Gonna be a rough day, so try and get some rest. Absolutely, Grim Squirrel. You get some good sleep. Absolutely. Come back and check out the back half of it later for any interesting story developments. But yeah, go get some sleep. You know, Knucklebone, pardon me as I open another, this is an espresso. It's a treat that my husband gets once in a while, and it's like a sweet, it's like espresso type thing. You know, Knucklebone, somebody else, Game Masters, which, aside from the very awkward placement that I should have done that part different. I'm not proud of that part. But in my second DC20 video, the big midsection of the video where I just gush over other people's channels, Game Masters is in there. Game Masters, if it wasn't for him and Bear specifically, and if it wasn't for a little spur of the moment, random, like one of those things where it just happened and you're like, oh, that just happened. stream, I would not have a channel right now. So I wouldn't even have the chance to meet and talk to you guys, which has been like a huge joy for me because of that. So I always feel that sense of gratitude towards the encouragement that Game Masters and also the people who were kind of with me before the DC20 video. I'll always feel some gratitude towards them too, just because they've you know, been around when I had like 5 subscribers, you know what I mean? But Game Masters told me once that he really liked my voice too, and it's so strange because when I was growing up, my whole like childhood and teen and all all through, I was always kind of told without being directly told, but implied that my voice was annoying and that people didn't like my talking and etc. etc. So to hear people say that they like my voice is so juxtaposed to my experience, like my personal experience. So that is more meaningful than you could possibly know when you said it. So I really appreciate it. All right, SOS signals. Let's go. It's, you know, and Grumpy, I really do like your reading voice. I have no clue what sort of like accent, for lack of a better word, that you have, but oh man. Oh, by the way, while I was on break, you guys didn't know this, but I heard it through my headphones, but I was out of the room. While I was on the break, there was a little thing that popped up that said, new Altera signature discovered, Delta Station dock. And that's that Delta Station dock. Oh, there it is. There's the lightning. Okay. Sweet. That's what I was looking for. You know, tabletop, the first one. Some people might disagree with me on this, but I think you'll find most people don't actually like Below Zero quite as much. There are definitely some gameplay decisions that are like, I mean, if you've never played either of them, it's going to look like a great game. But the first one is very superior, in my opinion. And also, you get more out of Below Zero if you've played the second one, like knowing what Kara is. If you play this one, Sam says it might be infected with Kara, and you think to yourself, ooh, infected. So you can pick up on the fact that it's some sort of sickness because they use the word infected, and your brain goes, oh, that must be bad. But if you've played the first game and you hear the word Kara, you're like, oh. So you get so much more out of it if you actually do play the first one first. All right, let's go. Okay, so this is the lightning. So we figured out, so it's southeast. So it's about 200 meters southeast of the drop pod is where we heard this. And I think we heard it somewhere around here, didn't we, guys? Because we were like coming through here, and then we were coming through here. Well, fine, we'll just grab this, why not? And we were coming through here, and then that's when it like went off, right? Yeah, look, flashy lights. Look, flash. No, ribbon plant? Okay, I thought that was flashy lights. I got excited.
Warning, passing 100 meters. Oxygen efficiency decreased.
Oh, hey, there's a thing to scan. Mobile vehicle bay. That's going to be real important for... Okay, we got to be careful with those oxygen plants because they will get us into a false sense of security where we think we're good on oxygen, but we're really, like, not. Like, dive too deep, basically. Yeah, that's Delta Station dock. It's 300 meters that way. I'm pretty sure it was around here that we heard the... Those are the ribbon plants. That's Sharky Dude that made me squeal and scream. Oh, here's a... Hey. What's this? Oh, high capacity O2 tank. That's...
New blueprint synthesized.
Oh, that's important. That's a habitat builder. That's important. Sure, window.
Warning. 30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
Okay, pardon me, shark. Excuse me. Plant, 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 plant. Plant looks too far away. Surface is closer. Ooh, this is gonna be close, guys. Ooh.
Oxygen.
Yeah, if they're... Oh, dude. If they're $11, grab both. Dude, the amount of value that is, just 11 bucks, 100% grab both. Both of these games are easily worth that. Okay, so we got... There's an oxygen plant down there. Oh, dang, it go deep. It go deep, yo. Alright, there's another sea truck fragment, I believe. That's huge. A sea truck fragment is huge. The sea truck is... so if you're familiar with the sea moth and the cyclops from the first game, the sea truck is both of those combined.
Warning. 30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
Oh hey, flashy lights. That must be the SOS signal. Okay, SOS signal flashing. Oh, more SOS.
Warning. 30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
It's okay, we've got oxygen plants, right? There we go, there's the signal. Oxygen plant. Seeing like people who went through the first game with me will recognize that that architecture, right? Recognize that. Seraphis is still with us. Grumpy and Seraphis. I know Grumpy is gonna have to leave, if not sooner. That he at least leaves at 7.
Sanctuary power critical.
Hello? Is someone there?
In a manner of speaking, we're running out of time.
So for those new to the game in the series, this kind of happens a little bit in the first game too, where you're just swimming around and it's an ocean and you've crash landed and oh no, you're just a survivor from the crash, and then all of a sudden you see something that looks like this. And you're just like, what? This just escalated. Oh no, don't. It's not you, Cantrip. It's more me. I got really self-conscious because A, I was on camera. Oh, hello, little robot. And B, most of the whole back half of the stream wasn't me stitching at all. It was me just, you know, futzing around, and I just felt like I was very awkward on camera.
I can help you better if you show yourself.
If we could show ourselves, we would not need storage.
You mean you don't have a physical presence? Are you one of them? An architect?
Storage medium identified. We will be lost unless we find a new host. Can you help?
Can you use my PDA for storage?
You are not with the group from before. Your cybernetic components bear their signal.
Altera? No, my equipment is, borrowed.
It will have to do.
So, if you'll remember correctly, Seraphis, you were with me during the first game when we came across the place on the island. I don't know if you remember that. That was at a point in time. It was like my second stream ever, and you were like the only person in chat. This particular part, I have, at very least, I have played this part before. And the whole time I was, the whole time I knew I was going to play this game, this bit, I was thinking like specifically of you. I was like, oh, Seraphis is going to like this bit. Just so you know.
How long have you been stored here?
Longer than hoped. Warning. Sanctuary power critical. Our data can be downloaded from the terminal. We may speak more once the transfer is complete.
Yes, okay. Hurrying.
Storage medium accepted. Brace for transfer.
Brace? Ah! Ah! What's happening?
Transfer.
Oh!
Transfer complete. How do you feel?
Why do you sound like you're inside my head?
The facility identified hospitable capacity within your cerebral cortex.
You are in my head? I offered you my PDA! Get out!
Oh no. Does your kind perceive a boundary between cybernetic and organic components?
My mind is not a component!
You sound angry. We will allow you a moment to process.
Don't you go silent on me.
Lo?
This isn't happening. This is not happening. That's the explanation.
It's not happening.
Yeah, I figured that you'd probably know what was coming there, but it's still pretty neat. I'm not gonna lie, it's still pretty neat. All right, ancient containment cube. While advanced human civilization has attempted for centuries to develop successful whole brain emulation techniques, it appears that the architect race has built a platform for accomplishing this holy grail of life extension technology. Physically, Containment Cube appears to be comprised of a redundant array of quantum holographic storage layers supporting a hyperdense capacity of 35 bits per electron. The energy field that feeds a suspended animated cube also serves to power the operating software, allowing the intelligence in storage to maintain consciousness throughout the storage period. Once the stored consciousness has been transferred out of the cube, the component parts will become inert. Without witnessing and carefully observing the backup process, it is difficult to ascertain how the transfer works and whether or not the process is truly lossless. You know, that's fair, cantrip. Well, I certainly appreciate people willing to like test games with me and deal with the black screen and stuff like that. I think my main streaming goals are just to be entertaining, and to be the kind of thing that I would want to watch. Like, you know, if I'm not... There's a story that they tell about the making of the movie Toy Story, specifically, where the executives were like, oh, make it edgy, oh, make it adult, make it this, make it that. And the movie was just getting worse and worse and worse and worse. It was just honestly a terrible movie. And then Lasseter and what's his name basically said, oh, screw that. And they scrapped the script and everything. And they said, we're just going to start from the beginning. And it was like 2 days left before the deadline of when they needed to have everything done. And they basically just said, screw this. We already went over the broken bridge, didn't we? Yeah. And they redid the whole video from scratch, you know, kind of their way, what they wanted to see, make the movie they wanted to make. And then lo and behold, we have Toy Story, which was like this wildly successful film. So I sort of take that advice to heart in the concept of like, if I wouldn't want to watch it, if it's not the kind of content that I want to see, why would anyone else? And I mean, I get different people have different tastes. Different people find things entertaining that I don't find entertaining, etc. But at the bare minimum, I want it to be good enough to at least like be the kind of stuff that I would want to watch, I guess, is sort of my metric there. Videos planned do better. That is true. You are 100% correct. Planned scripted content is because scripted content and edited content has the advantage of being quality controlled. If I say something stupid and I listen to it and I go, oh my gosh, that was dumb. Why did I say that? Silly Tori. Tricks are for kids. If that happens, I can just cut that out. But on a stream, you can't do that. But it was definitely learning. Everything I do is a learning experience. Every time I stream, every time I interact with you guys, every time I interact with comments and read comments, I'm like constantly learning. Which is awesome. It's been an adventure, really. And talking with you guys is like my favorite part. Like the Saturday gaming streams are my favorite. It's like the thing I look forward to. Like I love just sitting here playing video games, sharing my favorite games, and chit-chatting with you guys. It is amazing. Okay, so. Oh, this is new. The story of the CN logo design, it's epic. I may have to do that, Grumpy.
Fred, great to see you. Come on in. You don't mind if I record this, do you?
Am I in trouble?
No. You know me. Just a fanatic for details. And my memory's not what it used to be.
I know what that's like.
Yes. Is that why you've been running so many personal errands for your colleagues? We asked you to limit them.
So I am in trouble.
That's not how I want you to look at it. Here's what I see. You're a team player. You want to get the job done.
I think I have a pretty good record there.
You want people to like you.
Has anyone complained?
Fred, the trouble is, not everyone is as reliable as you are. Sometimes people need help being where they need to be and concentrating on their work.
All the trips were work-related.
It appears you transported tech for Lil, rather far out from her base.
Well, it needed to go deep, and she needed a sea truck.
Her work is currently on surface installations. She shouldn't be anywhere near the water. No more favors to friends, agreed?
Yes, sir.
I keep telling you. Call me...
We understand this arrangement is undesirable to you.
You're not real. Go away.
To go, we require a suitable body for transfer.
Why do you keep saying we? How many of you are there?
One of us and all of us. We do not think of ourselves as individual, distinct.
Why don't you start by telling me who you are?
You may append your seed code to my species designation. Please call me Al-An.
My whole life I've been dying to meet a sapient spacefaring alien up close, and you're telling me your name is Alan?
Is it insufficient?
No, it's fine. It's perfect. Where are you from, Alan?
Your kind calls us architects.
The precursor race? But what are you doing here?
That is a long story. Perhaps you will prefer to focus on the construction of a new storage medium to which I may transfer.
Yes. Fine, absolutely. How do we get you out of my head?
I have added the information to your databank. You will need to find the necessary components.
Any idea where I can find them?
It is unclear. I have been disconnected from my network for so long I cannot locate the coordinates.
So we don't have enough stuff for the mobile vehicle bay. Let's drop off some materials that we don't necessarily need right at this second. We're still pretty good on food, honestly. And we've got a beacon just in case. Oh, you know what we should do? Do we have any... we should create a spare battery. Limestone. Limestone. There's going to be some copper in here somewhere. Yeah, copper. Let's pick up more limestone, more copper, because it's always a good idea. brainstorming, exploring the game, but it's gotten a bit more focused recently, and I'm not a game mathematician. You know what, Cantrip? I'm so glad you said that, because that right there is a yep, just so many yeps. So like, I love DC-20, and obviously I like gaming. I play video games, I play tabletop games. With husband's family, we regularly play board games. Like, I just love gaming in general. And pod. But yet sometimes when I go into the Discord and I like attempt to like, they're like neck deep into this, that, and the other thing about mechanics to a degree that I can't necessarily follow. Like, I'm a big fan of games and video games, but whoa, guys, I'm not, I don't operate on that logistical level. And I'm a fairly logistical person in and of myself, but yeah, I find it intimidating, and then I end up bouncing out because I'm like, not out of like disrespect or anything, just out of, because they're brilliant, and people like that help make the game, you know, as we go through alpha, as we go through beta, fans like that working with Coach and working with his team are going to make the game amazing. So all props to those individuals who are that deep into the system and the game. I am not. I wouldn't say one thing I like to keep in mind, Cantrip, because I often fall into the trap of thinking of myself as, you know, not good enough or inconsequential or nobody cares about that or not skilled enough, you know. I'm not... I often fall into the trap of feeling like people don't really care what I have to say, and until I found DC-20 and actually admitted to switching systems, it was way worse. Prior to that, as a fan, through the whole OGL, through Hasbro, through all of the crap, hey Galaxy, back from lurking, through all of the crap, I still liked D&D. I didn't necessarily like Wizards or Hasbro as much, but I liked D&D. And so I was in this awkward place where if I opened my mouth about it, I would get like royally smacked, so to speak, in social media spaces because, you know, everybody was so busy hating on WotC. You know, how dare you like actually be a fan of it? And so I wouldn't say anything about it, but I also felt like, and then even when DC-20 came about, you know, I did not expect that one video to do anything like what it did. I didn't expect any of that to happen. And every YouTuber who goes big will tell the same story. I've noticed a pattern there. But like, legit, like, I just found the system, thought it was cool, and for the first time got excited about a system. For the first time thought I might actually leave 5e. Made the video, and literally I am at work, and it's like, so-and-so has subscribed, so-and-so has subscribed, so-and-so, like, my phone is just going off with notifications, and I'm like, what the heck? And I pull up the page,
Seek shelter.
and I pull up the video, and I'm just watching the view count, at least in proportion to my channel, just skyrocket out of nowhere, and I'm like, what the heck? Like, I was floored. I was like, what? And then, like, Coach did a stream. It was either the same day or the next day. Coach did a stream, and I pop in because I wanted to follow the progress of the game. And he, like, if you go back and watch that stream, you'll see my chat, my response, because I typed in, and he goes, oh, hello, T and Tori. And I typed in chat. My literal response was, oh, my God, he said my name. That if you go back into the stream, you'll see that chat. Because that's how I felt. I was like, wait, did he just say my name? Nobody knows. No, you know, Seraphis knows who I am. Grumpy and Grim Squirrel and like Game Masters know who I am. But for the most part, I'm pretty small and irrelevant as a channel. And so when he said that, I was like, what? Like, everything was such a surprise. But that's a big spiral rabbit trouble. What I was getting at in response to Cantrip's comment, or what it made me think of, is to never underestimate your perspective as an outsider. So for example, Cantrip said about how they feel that their input was irrelevant. Oh, there's Delta Station. And the thing is that if you, so let's put ourselves in the mindset of like you're like Coach, right? And you have the system you're really passionate about and you want to sell it to people. Coach is awesome. Like, not only is it just in general he's awesome, but also the fact that I watched one stream of his, just one stream of his, and I was like, oh yeah, he's got to be neurodivergent. There's no way. And so I felt an immediate connection or kinship or something. Like, just there was that part of me that's like, yep. But anyways, to Cantrip's point and what I was getting at with the perspective. So I beat myself up for a long time thinking that I'm not a large enough voice, I don't matter, or people don't care what I think, until I realized something. See, I'm someone who's a fan of D&D, a fan of 5e. I don't hate 5e the way a lot of other people in the social media space hate 5e. And when you're talking about switching to another system, a huge portion, not all, but a large, or at very least, the more vocal portion of people who are switching from 5e are switching not for positive reasons. A lot of people who are switching from D&D and switching from 5e are not switching because, I mean, yes, they like the new system, but if you dig, the real motivator is that they don't like Wizards and they don't like Hasbro. And for some people, that's because they genuinely don't like the system, but I'd argue that there's a large percentage of people who don't even really hate the system that much, but they dislike the company. Almost like there's two groups, the people who hate the company and the system, the people who hate the system, and or the people that just hate the company. But there's like these different groups of people. But one thing I realized when processing all of this was that your perspective, like from a consumer standpoint, from a market standpoint, Coach is benefiting. And part of the reason why DC-20, I think, is catching the attention of people that bypassed Pathfinder and other systems, because other people who have switched systems have also kind of sort of maybe done so already. Like, people are already playing Pathfinder, and the Pathfinder fans already don't like 5th edition. They've already left that group. But in my thought process, there is an entire market, an entire section of the market that are like me, that don't hate 5e. And so we didn't, the other systems weren't attracting us because the other systems were positioning themselves, marketing themselves, letting themselves sell on the idea of, oh, if you hate 5e, play this system. And it's like, well, I don't hate 5e. So DC-20 was the first system that I found that said, do you love 5e? And I went, yeah, actually I do. It went, well, try this because it's 5e, but there's also all this extra stuff. And that's what, and I feel like there's a big portion of the market that was left behind because they do like 5e. And I feel like DC-20 is picking up on some of that. And so your perspective as someone who's not like the crunchy number person is just as valuable as the perspective of someone who's a crunchy number person. Like if you're an outsider to something, your perspective is valuable as an outsider. Because if I was trying to sell to a market, I would be interested in the perspectives of different portions of that market. If I want to sell a system, I want to appeal to the people who are like the pro system, have all these different systems, but I would also want to appeal to the people who are the casual gamers, because that's a huge chunk of the market, is people who are not online all the time, people who are not watching D&D content on YouTube all the time, they're just playing it. I know my coworker was one of them. I had a coworker before I switched jobs who was like, yeah, I'm going to play D&D. Like, he was brand new. He had never played it before, never even heard of it before, and I mentioned it one day at work, and he's like, oh yeah, my friends just got me started on that. And I was like, really? I was like, how are you playing? And they're like, oh, a friend of ours played it before and they have D&D Beyond, and that was it. And some people in the D&D YouTube community are like, screw Hasbro, screw WotC, screw D&D Beyond and all of that. But this guy that I was talking to in person, in real life, was like, had no idea had no concept of any of it. He'd never heard of Pathfinder, never heard of Hasbro, didn't know who WotC was. Like, he just heard about this game that his friend wanted him to play. And, there's a huge chunk of the market that's like that. So, okay, now that all of that, I apologize. I just went way off beat there. I am so sorry, guys. We're going to get back to the game. Yeah, to UDC 20, same here. Grimio actually playing through ISS Vanguard. It's a really cool story so far. Oh, hey, Crab. You look like a Pokemon. I'm not going to lie. You really look like a Pokemon. What has always made the hobby has been the people who play it, with or without corporate publications and false stewardship. Yeah. There's also hardcore gamers who gasp aren't talking about gaming online. True story, Grumpy. Am I crazy or we absolutely play more than one game? I'll come back to that, Galaxy. I feel targeted by this rant, Tori. I know I hate on 5e, but it's a combination of 5e community and the game design. Well, and see, and Seraphis, you're pretty critical, I'd say critical of 5e, but you represent, your perspective represents a huge portion of the market, just as my perspective, be it different, represents a huge portion of the market. Like we are both two different perspectives, but we represent different, and so it's really important aspect, particularly if you're going to sell a product, but also if you just want to have a good grasp of things, to consider multiple perspectives, to consider multiple aspects. So my perspective is just as valuable as your perspective is. You know what I mean? In-person gaming group plays 3.5. Yeah, I started on 3.5 Knucklebone. Tabletop, I won't go crazy. I just want some people who want to sit down and fool around with a game. No prep, no production, almost no standards. Just like, let's see what happens if. And every table is unique, Cantrip. Every table is unique. But we should remember that our perspectives are important. Even if our perspectives aren't popular ones. Because like Seraphis's what he talks about how he's super critical to 5e. He is. But for a while, his perspective was actually the popular one. Like, for a period of time, the people who were 5e fans were, if not the minority, at least vocally silent about it. And there's a difference between majority and real majority and minority, and then vocal majority and minority, because the vocal minority will, if they're vocal about it, will appear as a majority. That's important to keep in mind too. But like for a while, it was popular to hate on what it still kind of is to an extent. But the Blaine Simple video, the One Shot Questers video, a little bit my videos, it's starting to come into light a little bit here and there that people are like sick and tired of the WotC hating. That people are sick and tired of the sort of like, I guess, gatekeeping. Maybe that's not the right word, but it's like people are coming forward like, hey, I'm a fan of this thing, and if you hate it, agree to disagree, but I'm a fan of this thing. But yeah. See, Tori rants well, seems focused, coherent messages and meaning, and spontaneous. Thank you so much, Cantrip. That makes me feel a lot better. Oh, tabletop. I like that. He says, I've always heard it said, if you have thought it, then so have others. I like that. Critical of 5e, but that is because evidently I've been playing more TTRPGs and there are so many more ideas out there than what D&D does. Me and my husband are big fans of bourbon. And there's Buffalo Trace, which is a big name in bourbon. And then and they've been in the space a long time. They've been making bourbon for like hundreds of years. We went and did a tour of partial tour of their distillery in Kentucky when we went to Kentucky. We also went to Bullet Distilling, and we took a tour of their factory. And Bullet has been around since the 80s. So in the world of bourbon making, they are babies. They are brand new. And it was so interesting to witness from a marketing perspective, a social perspective, a psychological perspective, the difference between like the new versus the old and the benefits and detriments of both. Because so D&D would be the equivalent of Buffalo Trace, and like, you know, say DC-20 is the equivalent of Bullet, right? It's like, on the one hand, the newer company has the freedom to try new things, to do new things, to market itself to a current market. The new company is free to do what it wants. It is not trapped in any way. However, it also doesn't have any support. It's new to the space. Nobody knows the name. No, you know, whereas a company like D&D and or Buffalo Trace has brand recognition, has history, has lineage, has this thing that's like, oh, I mean, we use the term D&D not in reference to the product, but in reference to the act of sitting around at a table and playing. A lot of people do. It's kind of like Photoshop. Adobe created a piece of software, owns a software named Photoshop. But when you hear the word Photoshop, you're not thinking of that software. You're thinking of the act of manipulating images. That's how synonymous that one piece, that's how much of a monopoly that one piece of software has on the whole thing. When I say Photoshop, you think of manipulating an image, even though Photoshop is technically actually the name of one product. Same with Kleenex. When I say Kleenex, most people think of like the little facial tissue, when in reality, Kleenex is technically a brand name, and there's plenty of other things to wipe your face on that isn't Kleenex. But when I say Kleenex, I'm using it not in reference to that product, but to like the concept, like D&D falls under that umbrella. But brands like that, like in the case of D&D, and I think in the case of Buffalo Trace too, they have the backing, they have that history, they have where that is their foundation that they're on. So they have no problems getting customers. They're the big player in the space. However, they're also trapped by it. You know, I almost feel kind of sorry for like Perkins and Crawford and the team, because to an extent, they're so big, they're kind of almost trapped. And as designers, never mind the corporate or money-making element, but just as designers, they don't have, like, there's things they have, like, they're never going to change the 6 stats, right? I mean, if they did, it would be a major upset to the concept of D&D, because it's a core part of D&D. So it's like, just thinking of it in that perspective of like, you have the big name behind you, sure, but you also bear the weight of that big name. American English D&D is a brand name. And I'm sorry, I did miss a huge chunk of the chat, and I totally spent all of that time going on a big long thing and not playing the game. Blame the fact that there's an alien invading my head. Mike Merles. Not those two. They embrace the trap every time they go to the brink of directly lying to us. Yeah, the times are difference. That's part of the reason why I keep insisting on streaming it.
This is a recorded message. If you can hear this, you're trespassing. If you know what's good for you, you'll get the hell out of here.
By the way, anyone who's played the first game should totally recognize that voice, just saying. Tabletop, I'm kind of a little bit with you there, although both Crawford and Perkins have posted things on like platforms that I very much don't agree with, even beyond a D&D designer level. I believe they're fans of the game, and I believe they want to do. Like the want is there. The desire to do good. I don't think they want to outrage people. I don't think they want to make a terrible game, not by any stretch of the imagination. But I am a fan of Perkins in Acquisitions Incorporated in terms of their games that they've played, but I won't, it's not like 100%, you know, it's not like, oh, Crawford and Perkins are the best people on the planet, yay, but it's also not like, oh, I hate their guts. It's actually in the middle. Yeah, I don't hate Crawford and Perkins. I don't hate them. They have said things I don't agree with. They have said things that have made me, like, rub my forehead and go, really, guys? Really? But I don't believe they have ill intentions. And I don't want to believe of them being bad people. I just think that... I think they think that they're making, like, a great game. If that makes sense. I think they think they're doing good. Like, I believe they want to do good. I just believe that they don't always succeed at that goal. But I don't feel that there's ill intent. That's the word, intent. I don't feel that there's ill intent. I think there's good intent. I just think it doesn't end up manifesting that way. I mean, heck, I'm guilty of that. I have good intentions all the time and it turns way sour on me. I mean, that's kind of life. But I imagine everybody in this chat and everyone watching this can attest to some sort of experience along those lines. You know, how many times have you tried to do something in your life and you're like, that went differently in my head? So I like to believe in the intention of people, and I like to because there's a difference between the intention and the action, and sometimes the ends don't justify the means, and sometimes the actions are so bad that the intent is like, I know you meant well, dude, but this was awful, right? There are things where good intentions can't cover up bad missteps. Like, sometimes it's just that bad. But also sometimes the intent should be taken into consideration, I think. All right, good night, Knucklebone. Thanks for sticking around for the crazy rampages. See, Seraphis bringing the other side of the table there, which is good, which is fine. You know, that the other side should be heard. They have their design team in the heart in the right place, but even they aren't truly creatively free and need to make the new fans, the old fans, and shareholders happy. Yeah. Yeah, sleep well, Knucklebone. We'll catch you later. We're gonna keep plugging away. I was kind of trying to wait till daytime. Now that my rampage has come to an end, let's explore a little bit more. Thermal lilies keeping us warm. Also, we are hungry. Hungry and thirsty. Also, I don't need so many flares. Can I, like, drop some of these flares? We're just gonna go along this path and just, like, drop flares every so often. I really don't need flares. It's at least worth noting, along those lines, Grumpy, it's at least worth noting that sometimes when we hear someone say something or we heard that someone does something, we should remember that there might be facts we don't know. It's just important to keep in mind that, like, sometimes when people do things, like, there's a side that you may not be aware of. Yep, OSC game. Yep, it's about that time. Have fun, Grumpy. We'll catch you later. Thank you for sticking around through, like, the rampagey part. We're gonna go back to games now. The ADHD spiral has concluded temporarily, at least for the moment. Oh, good, daylight. Cave? Cave. Aw, thank you, Tabletop. I'm really happy to have you. We're really happy to have you here. Cover. I can't say cantrip because I wasn't there. You know what I mean? It's really easy to throw judgments from the side when you're not the one in the position. If there's one thing I have learned, like have learned via going through, it's that it's really easy to make judgment calls until you're the one in the role. And then watching people be fallible, watching people be human, watching people make mistakes. It's really easy to say like, well, how can you do this and how can you do that? But then like when you're in on the spot, you and then you even think about it too. Like you're in the spot and you're like, that was dumb. Why did I say that? Or that was dumb. Why did I do that? God, that was so dumb. I totally messed that up. Like you think those things to yourself, but you made the bad call anyways. Like, it happens to a lot of people. Yeah, I could see that, Galaxy. So see that use my voice as points to consider, not to make someone wrong. Well, and another thing, Seraphis, too, that I like is that you counterbalance that. So you may be very, very critical of the system in WotC, but then I like to think of it as you counterbalance that a little bit when you make your videos about other systems. And you add a little positive. You're like, okay, I may critique these things over here, and I may have, you know, not nice things to say about X, Y, Z, but also consider A, B, C, and you sort of counterbalance that a little bit with some like positive things to say about other stuff.
Stop right there, Altera. You're out of bounds.
I'm not with Altera.
Then your position is doubly precarious.
What do you mean?
If you're telling the truth, you're out of your mind. If you're lying, there'll be hell to pay.
Wait! Who are you?
Stay off my land.
Ain't your land, lady.
The woman in the exosuit has been traced as far as my technology will allow.
Last pilot, last known
I
position.
hope you will avoid contact with the woman in the exosuit. I am among the last of a dying civilization. If you were to compromise your well-being, the species could go extinct.
What makes you think she's hostile anyway? A little grumpy maybe, but who wouldn't be, stranded out here alone?
She did not respond to my distress call. And she is well armed.
Maybe she's afraid of us.
I have no desire to find out.
Signal location uploaded to PDA.
Alright, needless to say, I don't think anyone's been living here for a while. The upside here would be how the hobby has been made available for more people. I mean, that is true.
New blueprint synthesized.
The reference cantrip, the reference. But you know, that's fair. Everyone, you know, we all have differing opinions, and as long as, you know, you guys listen to me spout my opinion for the last however long that lasted, so like we all should have the space to like, okay, here's how I feel, here's how I feel. Because so far from what I've seen of all of you guys and interacting with you guys, both outside of like this stream even still, is that like generally the people are kind of like respectful. Like you may hate WotC and you may hate WotC and you may not. I mean generically, I'm not thinking of specific people, but I'm just saying like generically, like we may have differing opinions, but I haven't seen or heard anybody be like outright disrespectful.
A map will come in handy. I should be able to find my way to Phi Robotics where Sam worked.
A map. Oh my gosh, we have a map, you guys. A map. You know, Galaxy Fox, you say that, but I wonder if maybe we don't need more of that. Like, sometimes I think we lack nuance where we should have it. Because it's really easy to jump to conclusions. Because it's like the thing I've been working on because I'm so terrible at it. Like, I jump to conclusions a lot, very quickly. And I get very, like, obstinate and stubborn. And I decide that, like, nope, this is what I think and that's it. And I'm not changing, you know, I'm very stubborn. I'm very guilty of being very stubborn.
Communications tower maintenance log. Another day, another slight by the winged furies. As usual, I got an interference alert. As usual, I went out to see what the problem was. As usual, it was frozen stalagmites of feathered bird excrement. I fear the career impact of saying this officially, if you can even call what I have a career. But I could swear they're targeting me personally. The week I was out with the flu, I came back to find the tower spotless. Parvin laughed at me when I asked him how he cleaned it. Silly me. As if Parvin would ever clean anything. There's nothing left for me to do but quit. But I know that's what the birds want me to do. Oh, and I got the tower up and running. Maintenance complete.
That's what the birds want. We can't let the birds win, you guys. That's what the birds want.
Jenny, you wouldn't believe the adventure I'm having. It's just like when we were kids and we used to play Underwater City, only sea monsters aren't pretend, and I don't need to hide behind you when one swims by, because I'm safe in my sea truck. Safe and very, very brave. Please tell Dad for me. Thanks so much for the mustache kit, by the way. Be honest, I wasn't sure if it was a gag gift at first. Personal grooming is something of a challenge here, and as you know, I'm a pretty low-maintenance guy to begin with. But you'd be surprised how handy mustache wax is in an emergency. There have been some close scrapes. For a while there, someone was sabotaging my truck, and I thought I was seeing things. But my friend Sam helped me sort it out. Although, she's had some troubles of her own lately. To be honest, I get a little worried out here sometimes. But I guess that's normal, under the circumstances. Gotta expect a little risk, right? I should be happy. I have great friends and a good paycheck. Anyway, love you, Jenny, and Dad. Please find a way to tell him that he won't find embarrassing. And don't worry, I'm looking for the perfect fish to bring back as a gift. Your favorite.
Okay. Better to build people up, not tear them down. Yeah. Yeah, I could get behind that. And you know, I'm not always the best at that. Like truth. I am working like on myself as a person to like you know, how we have like our bad habits and we kind of like work on some, you know, some of my bad habits is not thinking things through and just jumping to conclusions. And then I am guilty of falling into the negative trap from time to time. So I am working on being more positive. So that's why it comes to attention so much. You know, if I sound like I'm getting a little preachy, it's not coming from a place of, it's almost coming from a place of like I'm preaching to myself. Because like I'm literally like targeting some of my own weak points. Cantrip. I still think I'm right though. Yeah, we you know, we fall into traps. As long as we recognize it and we try to do better, I think that's what's important.
Good morning, Frostpack. Just a quick
I hate
update
this
to
guy, by
inform
the
you
way.
of some
This
key
Emmanuel guy.
achievements and priority
Oh.
shifts we need you all to get behind. The Spy Pangling project was a resounding success. Please join me in congratulating Samantha IU, who is now reassigned to Outpost Zero, helping us dream of future initiatives.
Oh, that's the clue we needed.
Congratulations are also in order for Danielle Valenti and her team at Omega Lab. The closing of Phi Robotics means important funds can be redirected to their Kara bacteria study, which has important, positive implications for the life sciences. You're all doing an exceptional job, and I don't want to promise anything, but HQ has been taking notice. Keep up the good work, and I think we can start discussing bonuses soon.
Okay, so that was the clue we
Sam
needed.
really got under management's skin. I didn't know she had it in her.
They moved her. So Lily said at the beginning of the game, she said, check out Delta Station. Everyone left in a hurry. There might be clues there. And the next clue we got was a map of where the stations are. That's Delta. We're on Delta right there. So we're here. And the drop pod is 700 meters, 760 meters north of us. So the drop pod's going to be like, you know, in this range somewhere. So we're down here. Drop pod's north of us. So the drop pod's actually going to be... So if that's directly north, which is like where the drop pod is. So the drop pod is directly north of us. So the drop pod's between Delta Station and I believe this is actually Outpost Zero. I know that's Delta. I know that's Omega. I know that's... I think that's Zero. That's got to be Zero. I'm trying to remember my, like... Latin mathematics. What's the other one? We heard Delta, we heard Omega, and we heard Outpost Zero, but we don't have... Oh, Phi Robotics. Phi Robotics. Is this Phi? If anybody knows their symbols, in fact, I think I can bring this up in my... together. Oh, ugh. I hate that guy. I hate that guy so much because he's so nice at being terrible. He's so nice at being terrible. Okay, Pengling. So let's see. Here we go. Logs and communication. Oh, maps. Here we go. Facilities map. Oh, Delta, Phi, Outpost Zero, Kappa, Omega. Delta, Omega, Phi. Which one of these symbols is Phi, y'all? I think it's one of these two, but I don't 100% remember. Also, that's a huge map. Look at all the overland area over here. Like this, that looks like all overland area. This looks like all overland area up in here too. Dang. So it's not just all underwater. Phi, Kappa, a mining site, Outpost Zero. Do I have that wrong? Is this purple one not Outpost Zero? Outpost Zero is where Sam went. So we either need to go due north or due west. Well, we're gonna head due north. I'm gonna head due north and I'm gonna see if Sam is there because I'm thinking that that's Zero. Spy Penguin? Yeah. What color is the Spy Penguin? Well, guess what? Later in the game, we get to build one and pilot it remotely. So you will 100% get to find out. So this is the... And did we drink that water? No, good. But we will need to get more water because I wasted too much time rampaging. The color... The Spy Penguin actually is like a whitish, grayish color. Status report. 2 active human life forms detected. Unauthorized habitat construction and vehicular activity detected. Recommendations: observe and prepare for possible intervention. That's the lady in the exosuit. By the way, if you watch the first Subnautica, you should 100% recognize the name. Or not the name, but the voice and demeanor of the lady in the exosuit. But you didn't hear that from me. Ooh, audio log. New employee training is recommended that all training be completed while tower is in test mode. Test mode is a fully functional, simulated version of live mode. While in test mode, all communication from the tower, including distress signals, security alerts, and spy transmissions, will be disabled. To initiate test mode, insert the test override module into the diagnostic port, as depicted in the diagram to the left. The activate test mode command may be entered via the terminal once the test override module has been inserted. Cool, we got a manual.
Hypothermia imminent.
I'm working on it. I'm running. Thermal lily. Thermal lily. Worm me. Save me. Ow. Ooh. Oh, that's... I didn't mean burn me. I meant save me. Do you want spoilers for Greek symbols? I don't remember the Greek symbol. Yes. No, that's okay. It's not spoilers for the Greek symbols because it just helps us interpret the map. Oh, good, Seraphis. You remember the voice. Captain Ahab, get her whale. Oh, man. I love it. That makes me smile so much. So yeah, there's more with her. Because you thought it was all over in the last game. But it's not. But no, you can excessive coincidence overlap. That's true. No, the penguin is not purple. And if it makes you feel any better, this came out long before DC-20. Well, at least the DC-20 Kickstarter. I can't say before existed. I don't know how long DC-20 existed. But no, if you guys have information about these symbols, because otherwise, if I were on my own, I would just Google it. I'm not gonna lie. My memory. I know Delta. I know Omega. I know Lambda. I know Beta. There's like several that I know, but I just don't know 0 versus Phi versus Kappa. Because I thought Kappa was actually a K. I'm thinking that the purple one is 0. So if I'm wrong, then I'll look silly. But that's okay. I looked silly the other day. And as long as it's entertaining. That's true, isn't it? It's okay if I'm a little silly as long as it's entertaining. Okay. And then also on top of all of that, we have the pilot last known location, which is 600 meters that way. So should we investigate the pilot or should we follow Sam's trail? Because part of me wants to kind of follow Sam's trail. But I feel like we could... And then on top of all of that, we have an alien in our head. So, you know, multiple storylines be multipling. This... Emmanuel gave me this jailbroken scanner tool thing and said, I need more shower heads. This should lead you to the necessary minerals. What? He also told me to keep it on the down low. I guess this is what a master's certificate in applied geology gets you these days. A job as a glorified construction worker. Oh, I should have studied interstellar law like Dad said. I have to hand it to Emmanuel, though. I didn't know what he did to the scanner, but it does a great job at zeroing in on specific minerals. Better than hoping I stumble across the right outcropping. I don't know if we need this much sulfur, but I haven't seen it until now, so I'm grabbing sulfur. Oh no, I want that. I want copper. Fine, we'll drop a sulfur for a copper. Where's the copper? There's copper. Yes, there's uppercase and lowercase. Omega is the upside down ultra. Yeah, I know Omega. That one I'm familiar with. Omega, Beta, Alpha, Lambda. And there's like 1 or 2 other ones, but I don't know 0, Kappa. In fact, I don't even know if I'm saying that correctly, Kappa. There's Outpost 0, Kappa, and Phi, or Phi, or Phi. I'm pretty sure it's Phi, though. So what's this way? Because we need to get down to the surface now. Hi, guys. Aren't those mouths just the best? Open your mouth for me. Can I scan you? I can scan you. Are you gonna open your mouth for me again? Oh, I can like climb. Yeah, that's a penguin. Yeah, Grumpy's channel has some crazy stuff. The next one that's on my list to see is the
Mineral-rich crevices detected below. Geothermal activity detected. Caution advised.
Oh, geothermal activity. All right, so needless to say, this area is pretty resource rich. So we're going to want to make a mental note that Delta Station has... Oh, duh, Delta. That's one I know. Forgot about Delta. I was standing on it. Like the American totem penguins. That I'm not familiar with. We need to also get the resources to build a sea truck. All right, let's head to the drop pod. Drop pod 600 meters away. Wow. And you know what? It's Outpost 0 is... We said it was due north. Should we head to Outpost 0 or... Well, the drop pod is north-esque. So we'll stop off at the drop pod and then we'll continue north. How about that? Probably going to be a long stream today. Thanks anyone who's dropping in. Thanks to everyone who's been hanging out with us, and especially those who went through the rampage. Obviously, time zones are going to cause some people to come and go, but hey, I love having you here. The penguins we just saw in your game have designs on them which look like totems. What is Grumpy's channel? Grumpy is Grumpy Old Slan. So Grumpy, and then Old, O-L-D, and then Slan, S-L-A-N. Which, I don't know if there's any other Final Fantasy players in here, but, like, whenever you say Slan, I just think of, like, the goopy things from Final Fantasy X, and it's amazing. Grumpy, it has a very interesting... Like, more so than kind of any of the other channels I've seen, he has a very interesting... stuff. He does stuff from like, well, he does D&D stuff, but he also does stuff from like pulp fiction, and he reads these stories. He has an amazing voice / accent that I just love.
The location of some important technology.
Grumpy Old Slant. Yep, there it is.
I implore you to investigate.
Will this help us build you a body?
I do not know what we will find. I just know it is important.
Wait, what?
Signal location uploaded to PDA.
Wait. What? You guys. I have a snowball in my inventory. Can I, like...
Survival rate would be greatly enhanced with the construction of an underwater vehicle.
No kidding. Can I drop it? Wait. Come back. Oh my gosh, you guys. A snowball. Whoop, where'd it go? There it is. Oh, it's floating? Is it floating? It is. Oh my gosh. That was great. I don't know why, but I was so entertained by that snowball. Alright, we don't have water, right? So we need to have water. A snowball's chance. Was it from the old Rankin Bass film? You ain't got a snowball's chance in Southtown. What kind of a chance is that? Not very good. It never snows here. Ignatius. Iggy. I like the old Rankin Bass Christmas movies. That one I'm quoting is from Year Without a Santa Claus. Was the year without a Santa Claus. It works with my accent, which is probably not a genuine accent. It's like a cartoony accent. Although I live in Montana, so the best chance, like the best accent I have a chance of doing well is probably going to be a southern accent. Or something along those lines. They nickname it Montucky for a reason. It was a year without a Santa Claus, a Christmas Eve so sad. And then, of course, the Heat Miser, Snow Miser. I'm Mr. Heat Miser. I'm Mr. Sun. I'm Mr. Heat Blister. I'm Mr. 101. They call me Heat Miser. Whatever I touch starts to melt in my clutch. I'm too much. Da-dum bum bum. Ba-dum ba-dum bum bum. Okay. I'll stop now, but you guys get the idea. So north. So this is directly north of us. Although we really ought to... She's not wrong. We really ought to construct a vehicle, but I just haven't seen that many vehicle pieces. I don't know we have the blueprint. Enamel glass high... Oh, we should build one of those. We should build a high capacity tank. Probably a habitat builder. We still don't have the parts for a mobile vehicle bay or a mobile vehicle. We need titanium, silver glass. Oh, we have all that. And then there's an alien artifact nearby. We should get a sea truck before we start looking for the alien artifacts. Okay, so we found land, and the land happened to be north. Yeah, the land happened to be northeast of our... No, this is the crash site. Oh, that's how I got a snowball. Pick up snow. This is the crash site. So I don't think this is going to take us to where we want to go. Map. Map. Is this the crash site up in here? Like right here? And then, like, is this... No. Is there a way for me to... I can't zoom in on it. I just have to lean close to my monitor. Underwater graphics reminds me of the game out earlier this year. It's an online sea exploration game. I don't remember the game's name. Anyone know what I'm talking about? You have my attention. Underwater exploring online game. You have my attention. I don't know what game you're talking about, but you have my attention. See if I can find some copper in here. That is not copper, but that's okay. We're gonna need lots of titanium for building a base anyways, so we'll just pick up some materials while we're here. Yoink. Yoink. Okay. Let's head to the drop pod. We do need a mobile vehicle. We just haven't found all the ingredients for a mobile vehicle bay. Yeah, unfortunately, tabletop, I'm not sure what you're referring to. But it does sound interesting, not gonna lie. Alright. Silver wiring kit. Computer chip. Silver glass. If we can get some glass, which I think we have enough quartz. Glass is 2 quartz. Do we have quartz in here? No, we do not, but that's okay. Quartz is readily available. Oh, did we store... We stored some anemone, and it's probably not gonna be good. Oof! Ow, yeah, that wasn't good. Okay. Water. We need more bladderfish because we have not seen any salt. That's a sea monkey. We don't want a sea monkey. And we want quartz. Quartz is gonna be kind of more towards this direction. There we go, quartz. Bladderfish and quartz. There we go. Oh, bladderfish. Oop, and quartz. Wow, 2 for 2. Okay, grab the bladderfish. Oh, there's the other bladder. There we go. I knew there was another one right here. Bladderfish equals water. And then we should have enough. I think we got 2 quartz. We should have enough for glass, which should give us our ultra high capacity tank. Let's see, quartz. Yeah, I wish I could help you with that cantrip, but you're kind of talking Greek to me a little bit. I'm not, I wasn't following along on that side of the conversation. Alright, so water. Oh my gosh, you heard that, Seraphis? You heard her out there? That's like skills. That's skills. She is, so I'm saving up the money right now. Basically, because actually we're gonna get paid here soon, but she is gonna be going in for an ultrasound. She is actually very sick, I guess would be the word for it. She's an older cat. It is what it is, but she's doing okay, but she's kind of not. It's, hopefully it's still gonna be a while, but there is the chance that we don't have that much longer with her. That's Delta Station. That's the last known pilot location. We could go there, but I wanted to go north. I wanted to follow Sam's trail. But going north just leads me to that crash land site. It doesn't really take me to where I want to go. You have wolf-like tendencies, lol. Is it like around here? Is there like a different side of the north? I don't want to get next to the ice spitters. Now we're heading east, which is gonna be that way. So we're gonna end up along... When we were at Delta Station, the drop pod was due north of us. So in theory, as long as we head due north, we should reach that outpost. Wonder if we can see mountain ranges on the map, if that might tell us more. I think this is going to lead us to a dead end. I don't think this is going to lead us to where we want to go. Because there's all of the ice. There's all the sort of ice. Yeah, it's got to be... Maybe...
Dangerous weather approaching.
Yeah.
Seek shelter.
Yeah. Yeah, I will give Mercury extra pat and huggles from you. Yeah, we're not sure what caused it, hence she's going to be going in for an ultrasound. But essentially, she's now walking with her head tilted to the side, and she is like continuously like stumbling. Like every so often, her legs just kind of give out, and she just kind of plunks, sort of, and she's can't really jump accurately. Her one back leg, the vet said that her back leg basically has almost no pulse to it, so like blood is not getting to her back leg, and her whole side, like the direction she has her head tilted and the side of her that has the leg issue, like it's all on the same side. So yeah. Am I fine? Is this like a canal in here? Is this... So like not this way. Right, oh that's okay, that's straight wall. Ice spitter, careful of ice spitter. So this is more of the... Was an internal problem from strokes. She had a kind of episode a while back that could have been a stroke, but not a, we took her in and they didn't, explicitly say that's what it was, but that's what the symptoms were kind of like. And then it was like 3 months after that that she started doing what she's doing now. I will give her extra pats and huggles, though, just because you told me to, Seraphis. And I will specifically let her know that it was Seraphis that sends the pats and huggles. We have taken, in fact, during my one video when I talked about being under stress and being under time crunches, part of that picture was her, because that's when the head tilt started. And so trying to coordinate vet appointments, trying to move forward, like first it was scheduled like 2 weeks out, and then I called and I was like, hey, she's doing this and this, it's not getting any better, is there any way I can bring her in? Then I had to bring her in for a day of observation. And then there's just the fact that, like, you know, what's more important, me making a YouTube video or me spending time with her? So when I talk about not having enough time, that's because some of it is just me. Oh, that's Pilot's last known location. I'm going in a completely different direction. Part of that time expenditure was me just like taking time to just spend time with her, you know. Speaking of, it is about that time to maybe consider editing the stream. I don't necessarily want to because I'm having a ton of fun with you guys, but I think my husband's awake, and I think, speaking of spending time with the cat and all of that stuff, so I think it's just kind of sort of that time. Yeah, thank you, Cantrip. I appreciate that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the little preview that was Subnautica Below Zero. Obviously, we're going to continue later. And maybe let me know, maybe like in the comment section of the actual stream itself, if you have a preference towards, or anyone watching this after the fact, before next Saturday, because that's when I'll stream again, at least this game. Let me know if you want to try to find that outpost. Well, heck, let me know if I got my letters wrong. And let me know if that's not actually Outpost Zero. And let me know if you want to try going after Sam and going after that outpost, or if you want to chase after the mysterious pilot in the exosuit. Yeah. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thank you, Cantrip and Seraphis, Tabletop, Galaxy Fox, everybody, and especially the lurkers. Thank you so much, guys. I so look forward to seeing you guys next week. Bye-bye.